Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to C&V Indy Evening. Good to have you all with us. I'm Doc Hogg, and today I am joined by Jake from TaleEndStudios, who is indie comic creator, of course. And we will be talking about his comic book, COBALT, in just a minute. Let me bring that up here. Yes, COBALT, the COBALT Thrashing About. Now, Jake, quick question. I'm just guessing here, but thrashing about, that means your comic book is about sex, correct?
No, not exactly. Sorry for anybody looking for any of that here, but no.
Well, but you're still in the sign up phase, so do go over there and sign up for his comic book. The link is in the description below. I've also dropped it into the chat. This looks quite good, and we'll be talking about it in a second. Sorry about thinking about it, that it's about sex, one track mind, and all.
It's okay. We all get there.
So at any rate, also my comic book Tilt Part 2 is now in demand. I'm still working toward getting to achieving the stretch goal. I need about 18 more backers to hit 135, and if I hit that, everybody will receive these two pinups, the Queens of Tilt, and along with Jennifer, and the Virgin version of the standard cover. They will be yours, even if you back the digital copy. I'll be happy to get your address if you'd like, and I will ship out, if you just buy the digital, I'll be happy to ship out the pinups to you. And this pinup will be signed by my colorist, Lenore King. So yeah, do back Tilt Part 2 as soon as you can. With a little bit of luck, I will be sending it to the printer sometime next week. So it should be hopefully shipping out late March, early April. All righty, Jake, let's just let our hair down a little bit here and enjoy a little bit of good old Steve Inman.
Okay, there we go.
Yes.
Challenge, and it looks like he's about to spin out and comes off the.
Here we go.
Well, Jazz is taking the Barbie Power Wheel Challenge, and it looks like he's about to spin out and comes off the bumper. And out of all the cars,
oh God,
he hits Karen's. The same car that she paid 29.9% APR on. Jalopy piece of garbage right here. The spin out. We're going to slow it down. Jazz almost travels back in time, but instead travels in Karen's car. Well,
now, I mean, I don't know. I wonder. I just have.
It looks like he's about to.
I would like to know what is towing that actual.
Right? What in the middle of the parking lot?
Yeah, what is towing that thing? What I don't think you.
Insane.
Yeah, it's. I'm guessing it's some sort of motorbike or something. I don't think an actual car would be that maneuverable. But I mean, I don't think you'd want to hook up your.
No.
Pulled the bumper.
Just the impact he had. He kissed the hood when he popped out.
Yeah.
Power Wheel Challenge, and it looks like he's about to spin out and comes
pull
off
the whole
bumper.
Front end off.
And out of all the cars in the oh my God, he hits Karen's.
I hope that
the
kid's
same
okay.
car that she paid 29.9% APR.
He hit it hard, but
Jalopy piece of garbage right here. The spin. We're gonna slow it down. Jazz.
We did the same kind of thing when I lived on a farm, and we just had all kinds of crap to play around with. Everybody was like, "Hold my beer," and we'd do stupid shit like that all the time.
Sounds like fun. All right,
it was.
All right, let's move over to the kids here now.
Batman has got Thanos in the rear naked poke, and out of nowhere, little Antonio shows. Well, for some reason, Batman has got Thanos in the rear naked poke, and out of nowhere, little Antonio
try it one more time. That's the hard thing about
For some reason, Batman has got Thanos in the rear naked poke, and out of nowhere, little Antonio Stark with a nice staunch kick to the dome of Thanos. Iron Man is in shock. He cannot believe what he's seeing right now. Batman trying to break it up. What the hell is Batman doing in there with these Marvel characters? Whatever.
Oh my God.
Gang, the little gang.
My God.
Get their own spin-off deal. Let's take a quick look at the replay. First of all, I'm giving Batman's up in here, giving Thanos.
He started the mob mentality.
It's Antonio Stark with a nice kick to the dome of Thanos. Thanos sees stars. Then his buddy comes in, the Iron Patriot, with some nice Joe Pesci good fella kicks up in the mix. And you can see Iron Man, his mind is blown along with Spider-Man. Spider-Man's still confused as to how Batman got into this universe. Give these kids their Lunchables and a blanket and call it a day.
All right,
For some reason,
let's
Batman has got
one more
Thanos
here.
in the rear naked choke, and out of nowhere. To get into the strip club, and a little bit of drama unfolding here on the 4th floor. Well, it appears everybody's waiting in line to get into the strip club, and a little bit of drama unfolding here on the 4th floor. It appears we have a man in some tidy whities, also known as stantarans, and oh my God, it looks like something is unfolding up there. What is it? It's clothes, and oh man, it looks like this guy was caught in the act, cheating with Karen. And now it appears Big Mama's getting involved, putting the beat down, beating the living snot out of him. You can see the trail of urine and other things traveling down that rope. And he's almost made his way down, and he is, oh my God! As Mike Tyson would say, I think he injured his spinal. Oh my God. Aaron is pissed off when he comes home, finds out there's no stovetop stuffing on the table, except Darren's blouse, a couple of empty White Claws, and of course, Chaz's Lunchables he brought over earlier as a snack to eat, but the only snack he's getting is the disgusting streak trail he's left behind on that sheet. Here's a quick look at the slip and fall. You can see he lands on his spinal and walks away like a champ, like freaking Clint Eastwood into the sunset.
I think the best part is when the
and oh my God, it looks like
when the woman comes out and starts whacking him with the broom. That is the best.
And, oh man, it looks like this guy was caught in the act, cheating with Karen. And now it appears
just when he thinks, just when he's about to think, Darren isn't going to beat me up. I'm home free. I'm home free. I've gotten away from him. I'm not going to face Darren's wrath.
And oh man, it looks like this guy was caught in the act, cheating with Karen.
Yeah, I'm home free. Oh, whoop.
And now it appears Big Mama's getting involved, putting the beat down, beating the living snot out of him.
Yeah,
you can see the trail of urine and other things traveling down that rope. And he's almost made his way down, and he is, oh my God!
God.
All righty. Do you want to share your screen now so we can?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that and take mine off. Yeah. All righty. Let's. Now, if you've shared the whole screen, that means you're going to want to get over to your the tab with the with COBALT real quick, because otherwise it's going to be. You're just going to be sharing everything you've got. So, all righty, here we go.
Is it popping up?
Yeah, it's up. Go over and go over to your browser and click on the whatever. There you go.
Oh, okay.
So, all righty, COBALT thrashing about. So tell us a little bit about it. Who is COBALT? I mean, I know it says he's a vigilante, and this is a steampunk in Atlanta, correct?
Yes.
It's an interesting city to choose to as the setting. Well, first, tell us about COBALT. What are his powers?
COBALT has no powers. What he has on him is his gadgetry. So he has a cybernetic left bionic hand, and he has some futuristic stylized tonfas that have a few trinkets within them that'll be used throughout the series. And then, of course, he has his armor, Kevlar plated, and then his to be quoted, utility belt. And so he's a street level hero at this point, and he's just getting into the feel for it. So this is the aftermath of a 7-page origin story that I created back in 2018 to be part of an anthology for kids that were growing up with limb difference. So as you can see, I lost my fingers back in 2013 in a factory accident. And so I became part of the limb different community, and a bunch of friends and I were at Dragon Con down in Atlanta one year, and we were talking about our characters that, everybody has a comic book character that they want to bring to life somewhere down the line. And it just so happened that some of my friends that I was in Atlanta with while we were walking down Artist Alley at Dragon Con was like, I'm going to get you in touch with somebody. Mm-hmm. And long story short, it came to fruition. I got an artist for that one. And it was a Kickstarter campaign, and that one went off without any problems whatsoever. It was a major success. And this here, COBALT Thrashing About, is the aftermath of that story.
Oh, all right. All right. So COBALT is basically, he's a Batman type in that he doesn't have actual superpowers, but he's well trained, has the gadgets.
Right.
Is that, yeah.
The Bat Family, Daredevil, Moon Knight, any of those street level guys.
Okay. All righty. So what kind of set up the story in this one a little bit?
Okay. So right after the ending of the 7-page origin story, Jesse Jensen, aka COBALT, he kind of wants to dip out and go into hiding with his little brother for a little bit. His little brother is Isaac. He's 12 years old, and he just wants to lay low because he just took down a cartel. He took down the Aranya cartel in Atlanta, and those were the big hitters in Atlanta at that point. So basically, Atlanta no longer has a big gang. So now there are gangs throughout Atlanta trying to rise up and take that position. And that is where Thrashing About comes in. So it's about the inner turmoil that COBALT has. Does he take up the mantle and continue trying to save the city, or does he back off and does he just try to be the guardian figure to his little brother Isaac? Or is there a way that he can somehow, do them both and give them both the kind of attention that they need to properly, take care?
Now, who is this Thomas? Because I'm assuming Jesse is the actual COBALT. Is that correct?
Yes, Jesse Jensen.
Who is Thomas? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thomas Rogers, he meets in the origin story. So when Jesse loses his hand, Thomas is there to kind of act as his mentor. He actually goes to one of those group therapies that take place in Thomas's homeless shelter that he holds on, some weeknights throughout the week. And Thomas is an ex SEAL. And so he lost his arm during the war. So he kind of gets the trauma of where Jesse's coming from, and he just takes him under his wing. And he's trying to kind of guide that anger that Jesse has. And he guided it into basically the identity of COBALT. So as he's going on doing his vigilante thing, Thomas is kind of guiding him, training him, trying to make sure that his mind's right for what's about to come.
I see. So Thomas kind of tries to keep Jesse on the straight and narrow a little bit. Is that kind of what, or is that kind of his function? I mean, it reminds me of the Crow in the actual, Crow comic book.
Oh, most definitely. Yes.
Oh,
so
okay.
This is Thomas here. As you can see, he's got his dog tags. He's a bit of a handyman, no pun intended. And
now, is he actually missing part of his limb, or is that just the drawing being cut off there?
No. He's actually missing part of his right arm.
I see.
So he lost that in the war in Afghanistan, and when he came back, he just wanted to help out other vets that were going through the same kind of thing that all vets do. They kind of need the therapy sessions to help out one of another, just be able to talk some things out. Not every one of them go through, but there are those ones that have those dark tales that they don't want to keep bottled up, and he's one of those that helps them out.
Okay, yeah. Who's your artist here?
My artist for the book here is Erwin J. Oroza. So he lives in the Philippines, and we've been doing this over Google Drive and Facebook Messenger since October.
Like my artist down in Brazil.
There we go. The Brazilians and the Filipinos, man, they are taking over.
They're good artists. They are some good artists.
They really are. So I'm going to show you some of the characters that are going to be playing here in a moment.
Alrighty.
So this here is our strong female lead, as it were. Okay. So this is Ana Reyes. She's actually a Filipina, Americano, and she is trying to become a detective on the Atlanta PD. And we're going to see her story kind of flesh out and everything also throughout the 4-issue miniseries of COBALT Thrashing About.
Mm-hmm.
Can't give too much away for her right now because that'll just ruin the whole first issue and everything. And of course, we have Jesse Jensen, aka COBALT. This was my first character design / concept piece that was done for me. This was done by a limb different artist that's a friend of mine named Ryan Rosenau. You can actually find him on Instagram. And of course, we have Bill Dozer Bunker. So it was kind of a play on Bulldozer just because of his size. But he's actually the chair guy, as it were, from the Spider-Man series. So he's actually the hacker for the team.
All righty.
And then here we have Qasim Al-Malt. He is the last of the Death Stalkers. So during Afghanistan, there were the Kurds that were helping us out, and their militia is known as the Peshmerga. So I kind of wanted to give a nod towards them and everything. So Qasim Al-Malt was part of a special ops unit within the Peshmerga that called themselves the Death Stalkers. Well, his whole unit at this point has been called MIA or deceased. Mm-hmm. So he is the last Death Stalker. So he becomes a mercenary for hire.
I see. Now, is he kind of a good guy, bad guy in the story? What role does he play here?
At this point, he is out to kill COBALT.
Oh, all right. So
he was hired on to get rid of the nuisance that's trying to take down all the gangs and cartels in Atlanta.
Okay. Let me get off the comic here. You've used the term limb different a number of times here.
Sure.
Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Most definitely.
Yeah, just tell us about it.
So in 2013, I lost my 4 fingers on my left hand in a factory accident. And so I started becoming part of the amputee community. And within the community, I started hearing the term limb different. That's how they identify themselves as. Because you have the congenital born limb difference, and then you have the amputees who become limb different. Mm-hmm. So as a collective, we just call it limb different just to get it across the board.
Okay. All right. Why not? Look, I'm just curious. Why not use the term maybe disabled? I mean, isn't that limb different? And I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, I get you. It's fine. We get those questions and everything all the time, so it's all good. But disabled just means that it kind of has that negative connotation to it, just disabled. Well, I'm kind of doing just as much as you are at my job place. I work in retail. I'm busting my ass just as much as you are. I'm not over here going, oh, I can't do it because of this and that. No, I'm doing it just as much as you. So I'm not really disabled. I just have an obstacle. I just have an obstacle that you don't have.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Good to know. Mr. Solomon, Deathstalker 2, all-time classic film. I will take your word for it and have to put it on my to watch list. Thank you for that. Okay. Let's get back to the comic then. Tell us a little more.
Okay. So this all takes place in a neo-Norse cyberpunk styled Atlanta, Georgia.
And do tell us a little bit about cyberpunk.
So cyberpunk, it has a huge range actually. So a lot of people go with like the Blade Runner films, or the new game that just came out, Cyberpunk 2077, where everybody kind of has a cybernetic thing integrated into their body or something like that. And then of course just the overloaded streets with garbage and wires out the wazoo on different buildings and stuff. Just very much a compacted city that just is full of debris, and then just a bunch of futuristic styles and settings around it.
It's a kind of futuristic slum almost.
Exactly. Okay. So for me personally, if you want to do cyberpunk and make it futuristic, you have to do it kind of like that video game Deus Ex. where it's kind of like clean cyberpunk. It's not really just every city everywhere is just filth and everybody's down on their luck trying to make a buck. But, you know, it's the 80s that came from, and everybody loves the 80s. So that's the aesthetic I went with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Plus, look at the colors on that. I mean, it's
that is some wonderful coloring. I mean, he's got dark and bright, and it's not, you know, I'm not going to say which comic right now, but an indie comic I recently received, and there were all these colors, and they're just so mashed together at times. It's almost hard to be able to depict one figure out from another. But here, that's really nice. I mean, he spread it out very nice, so you can tell where the buildings are, where some of the where some of the characters are. I mean, that's a nice job of coloring right there. Very nice job. Yeah, the motorcycles and all. Yeah, just really well put together.
And then here is the little video I have for the promo before we launch.
Yes, please do play the video.
Okay. Let me know if the audio doesn't come through.
Yeah, you might want to hit the, be sure to hit the square in the right-hand bottom corner so that, actually, why don't you let me do the video?
Okay, yeah, no problem.
I'm getting the sense I have a little bit more.
Just a tad.
A tad more. Can you hear it?
Yes.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Where did you find that music, by the way?
The video and the music was all put together by the Red Gaze on Twitter.
Ah, excellent. Excellent. Yes, I've launched my comic book campaigns. I'll bring your screen back now. So go to you. Yeah, there you go. All right.
All right.
I've actually launched my campaigns on his channel. So yeah, good guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And
okay.
Supposedly his book, and I'm trying to remember what the name of it is now, but supposedly that's shipping soon. So I hope so.
So this is the cover art.
And what's the name of the weapons he's holding again?
Tonfas.
Tonfas. Okay.
Yeah. So you can see right there that they're kind of more advanced. They're metal. They have little trinkets, can be disassembled and reassembled to do different things. This cover art here was done by an Italian artist who's actually done covers for Dark Horse, DC, Marvel, and others. And his name is Max Bertolini. So I reached out to him at the beginning of making this comic and asked him if he wouldn't mind doing the art, because as you can see, it is just beautiful. And I fell in love with it when I looked at it. And he was more than obliged. He took it up, and within a week, he had this cover ready for me.
That's nice. That is.
He's also doing the trading card for it. That can be seen later on when you back it before we launch. There's only 5 days to go before we launch. So
all right. So do hop over to the link. I'll drop it one more time in the chat here.
Okay. And I'm just going through the black and whites versus the colors right now, so you can get a feel for it a little bit more. But we've been hard at work on the art. We just completed the arts, inks, and colors last week, and
For all the pages.
for all the pages, it's a 32-page issue, and we just completed the last page last week for the art. So now I'm about to get in touch with my letterist, and he's about to put in all the word bubbles and all the dialogue that'll be needed.
Excellent.
But I love
you're
this.
really you're launching with really, boy, you're launching with just about everything ready to go. I mean, that's really sounds like you're about at least on the comic, sounds like you're 90% of the way there. Almost ready to send to the printer, which is a great place to be. Yeah.
I'm always nervous to be like the first person in asking, "Hey, can you back me? Do you have anything completed?" No, I just need the money first.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, these are the Thrashers right here, doing some not so gentlemanly things with this lady in the background, and then out of nowhere, COBALT pops up. I actually love these shots right here. I mean, it's almost like a storyboard. Look at it. Just how filthy these guys look.
Yeah. Very nice.
It's almost Sons of Anarchy versus COBALT.
Excellent.
But yeah, I've been working on this story now since after Super Able Comics, the origin story. I've been trying to figure out what would be the next best step for COBALT. And so I came up with this idea. And I actually had a different story in mind that I was going to go with, but I was like, that's more of the climax of the overall of what's going on with Atlanta right now. So I had to put that off and just let this be the ramping up to that event. So this is the first issue in a 4-issue miniseries. The COBALT's not going to stop. I still have millions of ideas for this character to go on and his supporting cast. So I've thought everybody's story out. I've got one for Thomas. I've got one for Isaac, for Bill Bunker, the big guy. And of course for Kasem Almott. I actually have an idea for him to have a solo series or issue as a one-off maybe, because I think a character like that just has so much to go with his backstory and for future installments.
Well, that sounds like you definitely have a bright future, if you will. Certainly sounds like you've prepared for more issues down the road. So,
yeah. I don't want to be one of these one and done people.
No.
I definitely want to keep entertaining you guys and bringing you as much content as I can. But it's just so beautiful. I love the coloring and the shading. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better artist. I'm on Facebook, and there is just a plethora of indie artist groups or comic book creator groups. And I posted throughout all of those saying, hey, I have a comic I want to do. This is my budget. This is the style I'm looking for. Who can help me out? And many people just answered the call. And none of them really had the gritty look that we have right here in front of us. None of them really captured the kind of dark, gloomy grit that I was looking for this cyberpunk style. So I was about to just pull it and get my artist from the 7-page origin story to do it. It's a lot cleaner and a lot more comic book-esque for the style. But last second, I kid you not, last second before I hit the delete button, this guy named Erwin J. Rosa posted his stuff and said, hey, man, take a look at me. And I did, and absolutely fell in love with it. And you can see why. Yeah. I mean, it's just beautiful. And then this here is the quarterback. It's a little nod to a place in Atlanta called the Bar City. It's a great little burger joint, but they have this frozen drink called the Frozen Orange. And it's basically like an orange Frosty. It's to die for. So throughout this comic, there are going to be nods to Atlanta, but you're also going to get all those classic comic book tropes. You get the double iteration with the names. You get the mentorship. You get the battling, trying to have relations within your own personal life versus the relationships that you have to make while you're donning your mask or your cape. And then, of course, you know, there are other players other than COBALT that are trying to save the city. So there are going to be different vigilantes / superheroes that he runs into that either don't like what he's doing or see that there's another way to do things. Like you can go by the law. You don't need to break the law to try and, serve justice, basically.
Very cool.
Yeah. 32 pages.
Excellent. Okay, let me just switch over to my screen real quick.
Sure.
There was some info. I'm not a gamer, so I don't exactly. I don't know much about a gentleman by the name of Troy Leavitt. Do you know that name at all?
I don't know.
Okay, supposedly he is a game designer, and let me. He is. He is not a hateful misogynist. How do I know that he is not a hateful misogynist? Because Anita Sarkeesian says that he is a hateful misogynist. And if Anita Sarkeesian says that you are a hateful misogynist, chances are very good that you are not a hateful misogynist. Okay.
Wow. When did this come up?
This is new today.
Okay.
And it had something to do with let's see here. Yeah, he's I'm not sure. It has something to do with unionization, the Communication Workers of America, and I'm trying. Let's see what. Following the outrage by the game press toward Leavitt's, I'm not really sure exactly what it is between Leavitt and the unionization. It doesn't always. Sometimes I like bounding into comics, but sometimes they kind of leave. No, I'm sorry. Again, I don't know why they approved. The union approved her. Sent out a tweet approving of her tweet saying he's a hateful misogynist. I'm not. Again, I don't know exactly what the deal is between line and community support code is Polygon and active link. Okay, so.
You really need to start wondering, like, who's out there crying wolf or who actually has a case and who just needs 15 minutes of, attention.
Yeah, I don't know why they would be approving that other than, unless there's some related to, has endorsed a tweet, Hogwarts Legacy lead designer Troy Leavitt for having faced, I don't know, do they have something against Troy Leavitt? Who knows? But at any rate, if Anita Sarkeesian says you're a hateful misogynist, chances are pretty good that you're not a hateful misogynist. So Troy Leavitt, you're okay in my book. All righty. Why don't you, anything else that you want to tell us about your comic?
Yeah, I've been working on this for a while now. Of course, I want to bring the best for, the readers in the indie comics business. So, come check it out. Check out the video. It's going to be one hell of a ride. So there's a lot of action that takes place, and this is just the first issue. When we actually get into 2, 3, and 4, you're going to see it ramp up times 100. And just come back for COBALT because he's going to be laying down some thrashing.
All righty, and there's a trading card you get if you join the mailing list. So do sign up for the mailing list.
Yeah, same art done by Max Bertolini, the same guy that did the cover art. And
you only get 5 days left on that, though, right?
Yep. After March 1st is when we launch.
Excellent. All righty, let's finish up with one more Steve Inman here.
Okay.
reason, Chaz thinks this. For some reason, Chaz thinks this is a date. Sharon reminds him that he's going to get sent back into the friend zone with a nice big right. You can see Chaz chilling out going, yeah, I think she likes me, man. I think it's all good. And Sharon comes in clean with a big right. Not only does he get sent to the friend zone, but simultaneously loses his man card.
Oh, Billy, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way. Oh, shit.
Oh my God.
For some reason, Chaz thinks this is a date. Sharon reminds him that he's going to get sent back into the friend zone with a nice big right. You can see Chaz chilling out going, yeah, I think she likes me, man. I think it's all good. And Sharon comes in clean with a big right. Not only does he get sent to the friend zone, but simultaneously his man card.
Oh, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way.
Oh. Yeah, that's some good stuff there. All righty. Thank you, Jakes. Thanks so much for showing up and sharing COBALT with us. I really a couple of now Corey, don't let everyone know that you're the only one there. Come on, give my show a little more love than that. But
What's going on, Corey?
This book looks awesome. Yes, and it does. All righty. Again, thank you so much for showing up and sharing COBALT with us, and really do appreciate it. And all righty. Till next time, peace out.